Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great Monday. I know I'm not there with you, but I'm sure that you're on your best behavior for Miss Money Hun and that you are learning a lot this week to prepare for our STAAR test next week. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Today we're doing financial literacy. So financial literacy means we're talking about money. And we do have a lot of notes today, so I'm going to try to make them as quick as possible, and we're going to have to skip around a little bit. So first situation says sales tax is an amount of money added to the original price of a product or service, right? So you go to the store, you buy Takis, and it says that Takis are $1.50. Well, you don't just pay $1.50, right? You have to pay for tax as well. So let's review how to calculate tax. So tax is talking about, it says calculate the sales tax for a TV that costs $500. The sales tax rate is 8.25%. So since we're talking about percent, remember back to Friday, we talk about a proportion, right? So part over whole equals percent over 100. So all we're going to do is set up the proportion with the information we know. So percent 8.25 over 100, and then the cost of the TV is the whole, so the cost is whole 500, and the part will be the sales tax. So go ahead and do your cross product. So once you did your cross product and you divide it, you should have gotten $41.25 as your sales tax. Okay, so the next topic it says income tax is based on the amount of money a person earns for a year. So it says a married couple is filing jointly on their 2016 taxes and make a combined income of $60,000. Use the chart to determine the income tax that's owed. So for this, all we're having to do is look at the chart. So it says it's a married couple filing jointly. So here we have single, here we have married, joint. Okay, now we're looking at combined income of $60,000. So we're going to look at the range. So $60,000 is between $18,000 and $75,300. So that means their tax rate is 15%. So yet again, we're going to use a percent proportion to find, to find 15%, right? 15 over 100, percent over 100 of their total income. So once our proportion's set up, go ahead and do your cross product and solve. Okay, so once I did my cross product and I divided, I got that they owe $9,000. All right, so the next part that we're going to look at is assets versus liability. So if you remember, an asset is something that you own, and a liability is something that you owe. So you owe money for. So for example, an asset would be money in your checking account, right? A liability would be student loans. So go ahead and fill out the table and answer this question while you have the video paused. All right, so I went ahead and wrote it out to the side of each one. So asset is going to be the tangible piece, and the liability is the money that you still owe against it. So any type of loan, mortgage, anything like that. And in the second situation, all of them were assets, but we were looking for not an asset. So the loan was not an asset. Okay, so now we're going to go all the way down. We're going to skip these practice problems. We'll come back, and I want to go to the next set of notes. So you should just have to turn one page. So the next set of notes, it says Jeremy's curious about his financial health, so he compiles a list of all of his accounts. Analyze his accounts, create a net worth statement to organize his financial information into assets and liabilities. All right, so all we're doing is using the information to go ahead and make a table. So I want you to try it on your own, and then you can check your answers. All right, so hopefully you went ahead and got all your assets and liabilities in there and got them right. And then it asks for Jeremy's net worth. So to find net worth, you're going to take assets and subtract liabilities. So what you own minus what you owe equals your net worth. So they have a positive net worth of $42,840. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at is a monthly budget with expenses. So this example problem says, which equation can be used to determine why the minimum amount of money a family must earn to meet the requirements for budget in 1 year? Okay, so if this is a monthly budget, right? How many months are in a year? 12, right? So you're going to take your total and you are going to multiply our monthly total times 12, right? So if it says monthly budget, to get the year, we're going to multiply by 12. So we're not dividing by 7, we're not multiplying by 4, we're not dividing by 52 weeks. This one was easy peasy. All right, so again, we're going to skip some of the practice problems and go to the last bit of notes, and then we'll go back. All right, so let's talk about interest. So simple interest, this formula is on your formula chart. So for simple interest, we have interest equals principal times rate times time. So I is interest, P is principal. So principal is going to be the starting money amount, okay? Rate, R is rate, and rate must be in decimal form. And remember, Friday, we talked about how to go from percent to decimal, right? So 2 places to the left. And then time must be in years. Okay, not in months, in years. Okay, so knowing that, let's look at this example problem. It says, if you deposit $1,000 at a rate of 5% simple interest, how much interest will you earn after 2 years? Okay, so it's looking for interest. We are depositing $1,000. That's going to be our principal. 5% is our rate, and 2 years is our time. So interest, and again, it is on your formula chart, equals principal times rate times time. So principal 1,000. Rate is 5%. So I need to get it to a decimal, so I'm going to move it 2 places to the left. 0.05 times time. So times 2. So now I have 2 times 1,000 is 2,000 times 0.05. Go ahead and do your math. All right, so when I multiplied, I got $100. All right, so the next situation should be about the last bit of your notes. Let's talk about these different situations when shopping. So if it's a sale, are you going to add the money or subtract it? Do you have to pay more or less? Less, right? So you're going to subtract a sale or a discount, right? Coupon, you're going to subtract it as well. Let me change this up. I want you guys, my goodness, every time. One of these times I'll have to go find out why it does this. Okay. All right. So a sale is usually a percent or usually a percent off, right? Keep trying this. Okay. So a percent off, and you're going to subtract the amount, okay? Then we have a coupon. So a coupon is usually going to be $1 off, maybe a percent, but usually it's $1 off, and you're going to again subtract because you get to pay less. And then a rebate, again, is money off. So, but you usually have to like mail it in and things. It's a little bit harder, not as instant, okay? So looking over here at this example, it says, while Emma is shopping with her friend, they notice a sign in front of a store. So 20% off all purchases and then a $10 student discount. They also notice 2 cashiers are applying discounts differently. So the cashier on the left is taking the 20% off and then subtracting $10. The cashier on the right is subtracting $10 first and then 20% off. In order to get the better deal, which cashier should they go to, or does it matter? Okay, so the cashier 1, right, is doing 20% off and then $10. I can't even write. Okay, so first to find 20%, so let's see. Okay, so let's say they're buying something that's, I don't know, $100. That'll be easy. So if it's, or let's say $200, okay, $200, we're saying 20% over 100 and x. So 20 times 200, so 100x is 20 times 200 is 4,000. Divide by 100. Divide by 100. X is $40. So right now we go from $200. We're subtracting $40. So now they're paying $160. And then we're subtracting $10 more off. So our total here is $150. Okay. Cashier 2 is doing $10 off and then 20%. Okay, so let's say again, there's this $200 minus 10 is $190. And now let's find 20% of $190. So 100x equal, let's see, 19 times 2, 2 times 9 is 18, 2, 38. So 3,800, divide by 100, divide by 100. X equals 38. So I'm going to subtract $38. I have to borrow 8, 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 8 minus 3 is 5. $152, right? So you always want to take the percentage off, because when you take, so the percent of a bigger number is going to be a bigger savings, right? So you want to take the 20% off and then the dollar amount off, because you save more that way. All right, so let's go back and look at, let me show you what your assignments are going to look like. Okay, guys, so now that you've finished your notes, I want you to go back and do number 1, the Cassie problem on the second page. Number 2, Maria's monthly budget. Then you're going to go down to your third one will be here, Jillian's net worth. And then I don't have the paper on my computer for some reason, but the next page after this one has some interest problems as well as a percent problem. So number 4 is going to be, it starts out Mr. Juarez. It's in the top left-hand corner. And then Carla bought is at the bottom here. Let me kind of make it a little easier for you. So you're going to want to use your answer check to make sure that your 5 questions are right, and try to get as many as you can done before you have your assessment questions. So number 4 is going to be up here in the top left corner, and number 5 is down here at the bottom. All right, guys, I'm sure you did a great job today, and keep up the good work.